Hey, Cowboy Nation, this Cowboys abroad. Let's get into some let's get into some football talk. And so we on the we on the tail end. We on the tail end of last week. It's time to start looking toward the New England Patriots. We put the W in the column over of the Lions. Wasn't perfect. Could have done better. But we got the W, and so we move forward. The narratives, there's a couple of narratives this week. Is one is how great Dak is. The other one is how great Dak is and how well Dak is playing. That's one narrative. These media professionals probably have finally figured out, what I've known now since Dak has entered the league. And how good Dak is, and that he's consistently getting better and constantly working on his craft. I've always known that these media professionals just not figuring that out. So he's getting a little bit of love, this week. And Zeke, on the other hand, seems to be the whipping boy this week. Now it's have Zeke lost a step? Is Zeke the same guy? What happened to Zeke? Is you know is Zeke still effective? Did the money affect Zeke? There's a lot of chatterbox going on about Ezekiel Elliot. It's amazing to me. Cowboys get so much airtime and so many people, you know, hating on the Cowboys for one facet or another. The reality, the reality of the situation with Zeke is we need to. We're gonna do a better job. We're gonna do a better job of putting Zeke in position to succeed. They're loading. They're loading up the box. They're loading up the box. They're committing extra players. They're committing extra players to stop Zeke. Um, committing extra players to stop Zeke, and they're effectively able to neutralize our, our run offense. Especially when we have injuries on the line. Our offensive linemen sometimes are battling through injuries and things of that nature. Um, Run blocking, it seems to be a challenge, for our offensive line this year. When we play quality opponents. Now, when we play somebody that don't have a good defensive line, you know, Zeke eats them up and tears them up. And that hasn't changed. Zeke, uh, just looking at the eye test, don't seem to have that breakaway speed that he had in the first year of his league. But the guy's taking 3 years of beating him in the field, 3 years of beating him in the field. And sometimes that takes a toll on your body. The thing about it is people should not make the mistake of thinking Zeke is not a damn good back amongst the best of backs. And the crazy thing about it, um, well, let's look at what's going on with Zeke. Let's look at this is 2018. And in 2018, we all know Ezekiel Elliott was the rushing champion. He finished the year with 1,434 years, and that was good enough to take home the crown, the most rushing yards in the leagues. If you look at this stat line right here, in yards, Zeke's getting. We in week 11, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus yard games going into week 11. Um, just last season when he broke the record. So um, and you look at this. And he had some games. He only had 69 yards. He had a game when he had 54 yards. Had a game when he had 33 yards. Had a game when he had 33 yards. Had a game when he had 61 yards. and so not exactly lighting it up last year when he in some of these games when he won the Russian title. But if you look toward the backstretch here, you can see Zeke toned it up, tuned it up, and got it going. In the latter part of the season, and just consistently put up consistently put up decent numbers. But through the first 10, 11 games of the season, it was kind of ups and downs, good games, good games, bad games, right? And you look at 2019. You look at 2000. You look at 2019. Um, Cause we're going through week 11. We're going through week 11. So um, got a 100-yard game, 100+ yard game here, 100+yard game here. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's five in the year that he broke the record, and five this year. Of 100+ more yard games um, through the first 11 weeks. Zeke's sitting at 833 yards. That averages out to 4.3 yards a carry. Uh, and falls out for you 4.3 yards of carries. And right now, if you look at the rushing board, that is good enough. That is good enough for eighth. Right now, as we said, week 11, Zeke is eighth. Um, but we got something to say about Ezekiel Elliott. Like Zeke is scrub. Like Zeke can't get it. Like Zeke can't get it done. Um, if you look at this carefully, you will notice 1, 2, 3, 4. For these positions, Zeke really could go ahead and have one decent game, and pass four of these guys in one game. We talking about less than 50 yards between eighth place, and fourth place. So Zeke could go ahead and have one great game today and be in the top five, top five conversation. Now, when the line blocks well, Zeke puts up great numbers. When they don't, when they're not really blocking up so well, Zeke doesn't necessarily put up great numbers. Now, we could change that dynamic by having some better scheming, put Zeke in some better situations. But right now, they're committing extra personnel to stop Zeke, and they're effectively stopping the run. And even when they don't commit extra personnel, we're not hitting our blocks effectively. So um, that hurts your run. That hurts your run game. But the other thing is what I want to talk to you about. Uh, want to talk about Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott is not. Ezekiel Elliott is more than just rushing yards. Everybody looks at the QB. Everybody looks at a running back. Everybody looks at a running back, and it's total yards and yards per carry, and that all seem to be uh, seem to be the only thing that people care about. In reality, Ezekiel Elliott is a total running back. And when you're a total running back, you had the threat of the pass. You had the threat of the pass. Even if we don't pass it to you, you had the threat of the pass. You have you have the ability to provide good pass protection. You can pick up blitzes. You can pick up stunts. You can do all of them. You can hit. You can hit and get those hard 2, 3 yard gains, and move change for first downs, and do all those things. Do all those things that we asked Ezekiel Elliott to do. But more than that, when they commit an extra person to stop Ezekiel Elliott, Ezekiel Elliott, to stop Ezekiel Elliott, that means they have to go one-on-one with our receivers. And I don't know if you noticed, I don't know if you noticed, but Dallas Cowboys is #1 in passing. We've moved up the ladder to #1 in passing because they can't hold our receivers. And so, and they can't really commit people to stop them over the top because when they do, then we got Zeke. If they take away that extra person they got that's spawned the run game, that's got their eye on Zeke, we will eat them up in the run game with Ezekiel Elliott. So Zeke is a very important part of what we're doing on this team, even when he don't have the ball in his hands, even when he's not running the ball. Ezekiel Elliott is a key component of this team. You take Ezekiel Elliott off this team, and they no longer have to respect her. Yeah, they no longer have to respect our run game to a point where they got to commit an extra person. Then they can put safety help over. They can put safety help over the top, and they can try to take away some of what we're trying to do in the passing game. Either way, it comes down to game situation. You know, if the run game is there, take it. If the passing game is if the passing game is on point, take it. That's the great thing about being. That's the great thing about being a balanced team is that you can win in multiple ways. And where they try to stop one, you can hit them with another. Cowboys, Cowboys got a full arsenal of weapons. A full team without disposal. And every man does his part. With or without the ball in his hand, there's a part in the role that you play. So we don't really need to get too wrapped around the axle with just hard numbers. Because there's more to this. There's more to this thing. Zeke, um, Zeke is doing. Zeke is doing fine. Is he a little bit behind where he normally is? A little bit. But if you look at the numbers, he's really not that far off. He's really not. You know, there will be games when we get back to the. There will be games when we get back to the run game. We're not going to abandon the run game. We're not gonna run. We're not gonna abandon the run game. We'll get back to the run game, and when we do, we'll beat we'll beat some teams with our run game. But in the meantime, we do what we have to do to win the game. Sometimes you have to pass to win the game. Dallas has had a lot of issues with slow starts. Had uh, an interception at the start of the game last week. This week had a fumble toward the beginning of the game. A week before that, got behind by like 3 touchdowns. So these slow starts and playing from behind also doesn't help your run game because when you're a couple of touchdowns behind, the defense is not stupid. They know you're gonna have to pass the ball. And so if they can stay ahead of the chains on you and keep you behind the chains, then the game situation takes you away from the run because you gotta try to keep pace with the other team. If your defense is unable to stop the other team from scoring, then you got to keep passing the ball to keep pace with the scoring of the opposition. If your defense can't hold, so game situation is another thing that impacts the run game. And so uh, while we're bashing Zeke, we just need to chill, relax, Zeke, Zeke is gonna be all right. Uh, maybe he don't have that. Maybe he don't have that burst right now. But we don't know what Zeke going through. We don't know. We don't know if Zeke 100%. Zeke goes out and balls out every week to put everything he's got on the line. You know, he'll take on a 270 linebacker. He'll take on a 270 linebacker and pick up a blitz and pick up a blitz. He'll run around the field. He'll run around the field, running routes. You know, and keep those defenders on their heels. He does the hard job, the hard work. Don't complain. Don't complain about it. Just gets it done. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I guess when it comes down to, it's one of the reasons why, you know, some of these guys, uh, that's one of the reasons why these guys, they want they want their money and they want their guaranteed money. Because the shelf life we put on these guys, and sometimes, you know, sometimes we hard on these, we're incredibly hard on these players, you know, and the moment a stat goes down or a number goes down, we consider a player washed up, but I consider all the facts of why the numbers might go down, other than, you know, a player, just saying a player, oh, he got paid and he ain't really doing the job. He got paid, he fat and happy. He got paid and he got paid and now he don't want to perform. He got paid and now you know, he doing this and that. You know, creating false narratives about a player. So there's a lot of reasons that might explain some of this. Uh, Game decisions. There's lots of reasons that might explain some of this, other than the player just ain't got the same heart, which is essentially what you're saying when you say the player, man, ain't the same since he got his money. You're essentially saying he ain't got heart since he got his money. He good. He good. He ain't giving it all. And sometimes that's further away from it. Sometimes that's further away from the truth. Further away from it. Sometimes it's further away from the truth. Uh, when you the thing is when you get the money, you can do the hard jobs. You can do the dirty work. You can do the dirty work, because you know that if you get the injury, you still gonna get a check. You know, when you ask your player to go out there and put it all on the line, you got to give him some assurances, um, that he's not putting his livelihood in jeopardy. You know, that don't mean these players ain't balling, though. You know, Zeke balling. Zeke balling. Numbers ain't what they normally are right now. But we'll get back to it. Game situation takes us away from Zeke. You know, um, injury situation takes us away from Zeke. Sometimes the defensive situation take us away from Zeke. You know, because our defense sometimes can't stop players. You know, there's lots of explanations that could explain some of this. Now I know the hard few are just gonna call them excuses. Um, and excuses they may be, or maybe they explanations. Either way, it's something worth considering before we just put it all on the player, just not giving a shit. We need to kill that narrative. That ain't Zeke. Zeke goes out and hit it hard every week, and does what's best for the team. That was Bud. Thank you for chilling in with me, hanging out with me. I'm out.